Hey everyone, what's going on? RedWolfVion here with a quick and hopefully helpful video for you. If you're new to the game or you're still learning, did you know that you could actually change the custom chats command? Now, the purpose of this video is to kind of help you guys get an idea that communication is relatively useful in this game, as well as that and some manners that you may come across, or some rude mannerisms, but hopefully you won't have to worry about that. Let's jump into it. So, getting back to the topic, you can actually change your simple chat commands, which are the shortcut commands you can use while in a match. You can fully customize slots 1, 2, and 3. Now, all you have to do is open up your Haro, go to Options, and scroll down to Simple Chat Commands, and boom, you're there. The slots 1, 2, and 3, chat 1, 2, and 3, fully customizable, but the signal is where things kind of change a little bit. They're limited in terms of what you can say. However, whenever you use anything under your signal category, your number pulsates. So even if you're there, see your number through the map or a wall, it'll pulsate, calling attention to your number. So not only that, make sure you guys, first and foremost, always read the chat in battle, okay? Just do it. Just do it. I prefer to have maybe 1 or 2 responses and one just for orders or commands or situations, such as I have one where, I say, I'm sorry, okay, sure thing, don't get reckless, I can't, don't sweat it, roger that, in one chat. And the next one is something more of a hype column, or something to kind of give everyone that good job kind of feel. And the final one is stuff for importance regarding, sorting together, falling back, rushing down, or any ace selection soon, and so on. We also have fall back, bunch up, stay close, need help here, defend the area for signal. Now, we'll get into those a little bit, so bear with me as we jump into a lot of this. So, first and foremost, as you guys enter a room for the first time, I usually like to say something like, I count on you. To me, and to other players, that's pretty much saying like, hey, let's have a good game. Hopefully you can be someone I can count on and depend on if we're having a good match. If you're in a match and there's like 5 generals or 4 support, 1 generals, and someone changes, I personally like to say nice assist and thank you or something like that. If someone uses an encouragement before the match begins, again, I like to thank them or say something like, I'll lend you all that I have. Now, while we are talking about encouragements, you all know you can earn bronze, silver, or gold encouragement. And you're limited to a certain amount a day, which it's kind of painful if you override someone's, but keep this in mind. Don't take offense if someone overrides your encouragement, especially if they're a higher tier. There's bronze, silver, and gold. They don't stack, so keep that in mind. You will always want the higher amount. Now, in some cases, people have a limited time playing and they always use their encouragement regardless, so keep that in mind. People aren't trying to disrespect you, so don't worry. Now, it does suck when you use a bronze and a gold drops, because you're like, man, that could have been something for another. So I would suggest wait until everyone readies up, then use yours if no one's used it already. Otherwise, just be patient and wait. If you're the last person to ready up in a match, you may feel your controller vibrate if someone's rushing you. Now, there's 2 things. They're either rushing you if they're constantly doing it, or they're trying to remind you have less than 30 seconds. Pay attention to the sound beep. Make sure you press in your R2 or L2 to check the time if you're in your Haro and see if people are waiting on you. At the end of the day, people can wait. It's only a minute or 2. They'll be totally fine. Just do what you do. Don't feel rushed, because at the end of the day, you don't want to lose because you felt rushed, or you get into the match with a certain kind of perspective on anyone. Now, I would say feel free to use the pre-created chats in the waiting room to hype up or accident with your teammates. You don't say Seek Xeon or Shangri-La. There's a lot, so check all of them out. I think team synergy is very awesome. It helps relax you before you actually get in a match. However, the custom keyboard chat has been disabled for the time being due to some players being toxic. Keep this in mind as this video is being released, or if you're watching it later, this could always change. Now, a couple of do's and don'ts. First and foremost, don't spam the same command over and over. If you're frustrated or you're trying to get a point across, that doesn't help. All it does is frustrate your teammates and it's a terrible spiral from there. Try using more than just need help here. You can use things like support me or need a hand here. That may provide better results, simply because if you see a support me, people are more inclined to think, oh great, this person's asking for help again, why do they keep dying? They keep dying, they keep asking for help. Like, at that point, you ask yourself, are you dying because they're not helping you? Or are you dying because you keep running in without your team? Now, there's two different things. You need to take a step back and see what's going on. If you find yourself always needing help, please revisit the location of you and your teammates along with your enemies. Don't rush in and die, get upset when your team isn't close to help, because all you're doing is pretty much wasting death and giving the enemy points, essentially, or being that person that dies in a team fight where you're probably needed. Now, I like to use things like ace selection soon, which can help remind allies that they should pull off or pull back before that 3 minute mark, because we all know when you're doing ace at 3:30. If you haven't seen the ace video, by the way, guys, make sure you go check that video out. But when you have 3 minutes 30 seconds, you'll get the warning, and if you're in the heat of battle and you miss it, an ally could say, hey, ace match soon, which also could translate to don't kill these enemies, they're really low. Our ace is going to spawn and be able to kill them in like 10 seconds. So keep that in mind. Now, in fewer cases, people will actually have the head to point X or point A, point B command. Now, if the whole team decides to do that, I honestly say stick with the entire team with that match. Hopefully you guys can work on some teamwork. Deviating from that plan halfway through the match may result in some confusion, or it might just throw your game out a walk. But if you're losing that bad and you think it's not helping, by all means do whatever you got to do. Indicator types under signals that people use is enemy snipers, or like watch out for snipers. Another one I like to use is a stealth unit, so you can let people know if you see a stealth unit or if you're about to be attacked by a stealth unit, you can go help me out. Need help here, a stealth unit, something like that. I also like to use don't get too reckless, or don't get reckless. That is, even if you're in the lead, that can remind people, hey, don't get too greedy. I would say keep an eye out for things like enemy infantry or enemy at base, because that usually means someone's trying to plant a bomb and they might need help, so keep an eye on that. If you accidentally hit someone while you're attacking and comboing, you stagger someone, make sure you say I'm sorry. And if you are the person who got staggered, you can say something like don't sweat it, or okay, don't worry about it, roger that. It feels bad enough when you accidentally hit one of your allies and you stagger them, and I would just say try to save their lives if they're in a bad situation. Now, with that being said, I want to say something. Ace matches, please be respectful of your ace. Please be respectful of your teammates. Although it's an ace match, it's still a team mode, so please don't leave your team high and dry. And team, please don't neglect your ace too much if they're being too hard-headed or too stubborn. Make sure you use the commands about ace selection, focus on the ace, defending the ace, or protecting the ace. Keep that in mind. And try not to kill enemies that are really low when your ace is nearby, because you're pretty much having your team lose points if your ace doesn't get the kill, especially if they're trying and you're getting in the way. Now, it's very different if everyone's HP is really low, it's really close to the time, and if this can essentially turn the tide, that's one thing, but keep that in mind. I will also mention the commands that's like sortie from point A or sortie from point B. Those are very situational, so be very careful using those, because honestly I think they take up a lot of space where you can just say something as let's sortie together. Anyway, hopefully some of this helps you become better at communicating with your team, be more aware of etiquette online, playing with people, having a good time, and being less toxic, because let's face it, no one wants to play a game where their teammates are toxic or they rage quit or something like that. If people disconnect, don't give up. You can still win. Alright, don't be a sore loser. Everyone has bad days, yes, but consistently you keep doing that, especially in an online rated match, you're going to get penalized. So That being said, stay awesome, stay nice, and I'll see you on the battlefield. Peace.